Welcome to SwarmCast, the marketing hive for pest control pros from coast to coast. If you're tired of your competition bugging you and want to grow your business like a well-built colony, you're in the right place. Each episode, we'll break down the latest marketing trends, expert insights, and proven strategies to help you exterminate the competition and keep your phones buzzing. So strap in, pest bosses. It's time to swarm the market and take your business to the next level. This is SwarmCast.
Welcome to the SwarmCast. I have a special guest, Chrissy Gilmer, and she is from AZPPO, CPCA, the executive director of both, I might add, as well as Lamplight Professional Services. She has a ton of experience in the pest control industry, and we're here to talk about everything around the state associations and what benefit it can bring to your pest control organization. Chrissy, nice to have you on board.
Thank you so much, Wyatt. I'm really happy to be here.
We are so happy to have you. Now, I see that you're not at home doing this podcast, so tell me where you're at right now. I see the pink lights. Where are you at?
I am currently in the Pest Daily studio in Queen Creek, Arizona.
Awesome. Now, I know how hot it is in Phoenix because I live in Tucson, and Queen Creek is probably a good, 5 degrees, maybe even 6 degrees hotter. So
It's
you're
pretty
staying,
warm.
It's pretty warm. My pool yesterday was 90 degrees in the pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a pool as well, and it's like bathwater. It's not even enjoyable anymore.
I know this because one of my friends is a pool builder in that area, and they put chillers in the pool. Get that. You have to chill your pool in Phoenix.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So, well, as you're dealing with that heat and the weather, we had a chance to meet briefly at AZPPO. Awesome event. Awesome event.
Thank you so much.
It was my first year. Now, I know Greg. Me and Greg have been working together for a couple of years. And Greg was like, hey, you got to go to AZPPO and meet Chrissy. I'm like, okay, we're going to meet Chrissy. And I know you guys serve on the board together.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, can't wait to go do that. And, we won a couple things and had a good time associating with all the pest control owners and pest control tech companies. And it was just a wonderful experience. I just want to say good job on that.
Thank you so much. I have a great team behind me. It's been very successful year after year. We're just looking forward to keeping the growth up. And I mean, it's our vendors and our members that make us successful. So thank you for the feedback. That's excellent.
Absolutely. I mean, we enjoyed it. I brought my team up there, and it was just a fast-packed, event. And I just learned so much from just vendors as well as the pest control owners,
Yes.
many of which I'm already doing business with. So it's a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
That's why I went there. So thank you for that. I'll be back next year.
Wonderful.
And then
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, and I see that there's other events, right? We were going to come up on the golfing event. I wasn't able to make that for some family reasons, but there's other events that you guys throw. So what's coming up? I saw it in the LinkedIn feed. What's coming up next here?
Right now, we have our annual membership meeting coming up in 2 weeks on July 24th. That's where we swear in our upcoming board of directors. After that, we have our Desert Defender Academy that's coming up for 2 days in September, the 24th and 25th. It's geared towards termites and rodents. Really, really great event. And then after that, we've got our clay shoot, the beginning of November. So
Awesome.
yeah, a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
So it sounds like this pest association really gets its members involved with having some fun.
Oh,
It's not
definitely.
it's not all business only. And I got that. And I really appreciate that's not just business only. We get a chance to meet our members. Now, I was surprised when I was going through your LinkedIn profile, and here I am seeing that, hey, you're serving in Arizona, but you're also serving in Colorado. So tell us how'd that come about?
The National Pest Management Association, they manage a handful of states. But they stopped managing the states and they want to just focus on a national level. And so Colorado was previously managed by NPMA, and so they were in need of an executive director to take over for them. So, but they're obviously close to Arizona. They see what we do here in Arizona, and they wanted me to represent their state as well. And that started in the late March to the beginning of April. I worked with NPMA to get their association off the ground and up and running and transitioned over to be independent. It's been great so far. I've already attended their golf tournament and their spring conference. They're going to be highly successful. Really excited
That's
for what's going on in Colorado as well.
and that was actually my very first event. Wasn't the Colorado event, but it was Pest World, which was in Colorado,
Hmm.
and that's where I first saw that logo. Is right there at Pest World, and man, what that blew me away. All the families in pest control coming together there in Colorado, and it just really set the bar as far as what kind of people come to these events, how do they do their thing, and here you are now running the association in Colorado too. That's amazing. Now, are you going after any other states, or is anybody coming to you? How many more can you do? That's a lot.
Oh, well, me and my team and I, we can probably take on a few more. I'm
Wow.
always
Okay.
open to more opportunities. Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that came across, and I was talking to another pest control owner because I'm a pest control owner too, was hey, we're opening up. When they're doing these things, they're not all equal. Not all of them are awesome.
Right.
Because I was asking, hey, who should I be going to with the swarm crew to
Hmm.
go visit besides Arizona? I hadn't thought about Colorado or anybody else, but I was just like, hey, where should I be going? So apparently they're not all awesome. And I'll just say this for anybody that's a mastermind member or subscribe to the SwarmCast, why get involved with these events and
Hmm.
with these associations? And I just wanted to hear that from somebody that's doing it. And I've experienced it's been great for our business
Yeah.
and being involved with that. Why should somebody get involved at the state level?
Um, I I feel like the most underrated benefit of being a member of your state association is the legislative advocacy. A lot of PCOs don't realize how much goes on behind the scenes and how your state association advocates for our industry, fighting, Capitol Hill, fighting the bills, making sure everything goes well and just advocating for your livelihood. That's one of the most important benefits of being a part of your state association. And also just the networking, and getting that huge, the camaraderie that you get with being part of your state association, going to the events. Your technicians can get their continuing education, and be part of be with their peers, in the same setting, and be able to bounce ideas and concerns with other people is fantastic. And also, you get to be around a bunch of vendors, and you get to see the new cutting edge technology that you didn't know was available to you, whether it's a new chemical or if you're struggling getting leads or struggling with hiring or marketing. We have a huge network of people that we can refer you to that can help you with your business.
It's awesome. And I see that, even though you might be competing in the same city,
Hmm.
there isn't that non-sharing attitude. Like I met a couple of vendors up in Phoenix and
Hmm.
very open with what they're doing and what are they using, what's working, what's not working.
Hmm.
You know, I've already interviewed several of the vendors like Cody with Smarter Launch,
Hmm.
some of the other guys, Adam with Driven, just different technology providers that I met at AZPPO and then also at Pest World, where you start to get this network of how can we help each other in this industry. And that's just a beautiful thing. As things are changing quite a bit. I've heard that hey, our technology in the pest control industry is a little bit behind in home services. I'm like, is that true? Well, I know a lot of technology companies in HVAC and roofing and some of
Hmm.
the other home services, and they're right to some degree. So part of my attraction to pest control was, hey, let's bring more new stuff here.
Yeah.
And then little did I know, 5 years later, here we are in the generation of AI.
Oh, yeah.
And
We're an
and so
ever-changing industry for sure.
absolutely. And how are we going to use data? What are we going to do? One of the vendors I got off the phone with today was, or I'm sorry, on a podcast earlier today was a collections, doing automated collections. No one wants to go collect money and ask for. So, hey, there's a perfect application of
Yeah.
AI is to do the outreach for money, that can be used in a way that works really well. Kind of
Yeah,
takes some of the emotion out of it and just performs the function. But
absolutely. A
these
lot of people don't
yeah,
know that that's available to them either,
they
so
don't, because this company is talking to the CEO. They've only been around for 2 years,
yeah.
and then other players have been, in all kinds of different avenues. We just put a podcast out on applause and what
Hmm.
they're doing for the technicians in the industry. Just some really cool innovation. But what's been consistent with all these stories is they worked in the industry and they realized that something was missing. And I'm sure you're seeing this. You're like, here's what we want to bring to the industry. So I'm curious. You mentioned legislation
Yes.
and making a difference, make sure people's livelihoods are protected.
Hmm.
Is there any other things that you're really just passionate about from the statewide associations?
Um, I'm passionate about getting your name out there in terms of networking and making sure that you have what you need to grow your business and make sure your business is successful. That's what I'm more passionate about is I want to make sure that PCOs have all the tools that they need, and I want to make sure that they know what's out there. And we are a competitive industry, but we all serve the same purpose at the same time. So that's what I'm super passionate about is just making sure that PCOs know that they have someone in their corner, always looking out for not only their livelihood, but their business as well.
That's awesome. So it's and that's what I like about it is being what I call a growth partner, right?
Hmm.
If they want to grow, they want to learn. And some people are happy with just what I would call a one truck opportunity. It's
Hmm.
like, hey, that's all I want. I just wanted to create a job for myself. But then you have some that really want to build a legacy.
Hmm. Yeah.
They really want to take it to the next level. How do I get there? How do I break this $250,000 marker, $500,000 marker? How do I do that? Well, the business is only going to grow as much as they do.
Yeah.
And if you don't have peers, knowledge, wisdom, coaching, mentorship,
Hmm.
people that are pulling for each other, how are you going to do it?
Yeah. That's exactly
And
right. Yeah.
I got my pest daily hat, by the way. It's one of my favorite hats. It's just cool that you have different ones that are already helping the industry, but there's 37,000 pest control owners out there. And I tell you, I keep running across ones that are running on paper,
Hmm. Oh,
or
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
That's how their grandparents did it. That's how their parents did it. They inherited the company and they just, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So they're not ready to make that jump into
yeah,
the digital age, I guess you can call it.
yeah. Let's use some. Let's get into it's kind of funny that they're still out there, right?
Yeah.
And so no knock on those things, but there's plenty of things that can be done to improve it and make it better. And
Yeah.
I've run across several of those in the last year. I'm like, how come you're still doing it this way? I mean, we do have phones, we have iPads, we have ways of moving quotes better. We've got better ways of collecting money. We've got better ways of doing outreach and prospecting and marketing and all those other things. So that's kind of the draw of Swarm. And what I came up with a mastermind is to really help people grow their businesses,
Yeah.
and
It's super important.
it's super important. And so these events, I will tell you, just from my perspective, these events are so key.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
and and connecting on a state level. The national level was much different when I went to Pest World. And I think because I was a vendor, and I'm still going to be a vendor when I go up there in October in Florida, it's still a different experience than if you're just going there to take it all in.
Hmm.
So that's the only sad part about being a vendor when you go to these things is, man, I really just want to sponge it all in. So
Yeah, definitely. That
yeah,
is a very good point.
yeah. So tell us about Lamplight for a minute. I mean, that's your business, one
Hmm.
of your business. Is that one of your businesses, or is
That is
that
my only
the
business.
That's your only business. Okay. So it's professional services.
Hmm.
You have this management team. So let's
Yes.
just say Las Vegas came to me, or yeah, Nevada came to you, and they would say, "Hey, we need a pest control association." What would you come in with your team and do that, or would you?
Yeah,
How would you do that?
I would definitely be open to that. The first things first, they would submit their scope of work. and their request for proposal. I would look over their scope and how many hours it would take, and I would put together a comprehensive quote just depending on their needs, from me. So that's how I would get started. That's how I got started with Colorado, and Arizona. So if
Okay,
I've got
okay,
the means to do it based on the scope of work that they send me, I would love to have a conversation.
awesome. And how many? Is there currently an association for every state right now, or no?
As far as I know, yes. I do
Wow.
believe that
Okay.
there is. There may be a handful that do not have state associations. I don't know what those are off the top of my head, but I know the majority of states do.
Awesome.
hmm
Awesome. And did you just like wake up one day and go, "Hey, there's just big need for this, and I need to get into it," or how did you get into this?
Well, I have a little over 10 years pest control experience behind me. I started in 1999, fresh out of college with Orkin, and I was the office manager for Orkin for about 3 years, and then I jumped over to Terminix. I was with Terminix for right about 8 years. And then from there, I got into human resources, kind of steered away from the pest control industry until 2022. My husband, David, was on the board of directors for Arizona, and they needed an executive director. So I came in, and it worked out really well. I started an LLC back then in 22, and I've just been building my team from there. And then I just took on Colorado, like I mentioned before. So it's growing. That's how it
That
started.
that that is fascinating.
Yeah.
I always like to ask entrepreneurs how they get into stuff, why they're doing it. You've had some background.
hmm
Orkin and Terminex, you said that's
Yeah.
those are like arch enemies almost.
Yes,
What's
we're
what?
we're we're competitive industry, but we all serve a common goal. So,
Oh, I know. I
but
I
those are
was
two heavy hitters for sure.
they're heavy. I worked for UPS, and it was always jokes about the FedEx guys, and now it's probably those guys. Now the Amazon guys, right? So
Uh-huh.
there's always this friendly competition going on.
Yeah.
So, as far as growth in Arizona, what would you like to see for AZPPO this year? I mean, is there like a certain amount of members you're trying to grow it to? I mean, what are you trying to do with these things? Are you trying to get them to just be, what are the goals as far as growth and longevity with this stuff?
Um, the membership, increasing membership is the number one goal for every association. So my goal is to grow AZPPO in both and Colorado, 15% per year. I feel in membership overall is my goal. It's a personal goal that I would like to do. If it were up to me, I would have every licensed company in Arizona and Colorado be part of their state association. I just feel it's that important. It really does help to get involved. But growing membership would be my number one goal for sure.
Growing the membership. And
hmm
it's one of those things where you do have bigger fish coming in and eating smaller fish, and you got some coming and going.
hmm
But it seems like, and I don't know the numbers offhand, is there more people starting pest control businesses than them being eaten up? Is that a fact? Do you know?
Those I don't have those numbers. I
Okay,
do know, I know that the numbers are definitely higher than last year. In terms of licensed, the numbers have gone up, licensed companies in Arizona. I do analyze the numbers every year, because
okay, okay.
that's what we base our list off of when we're going after members. So it has increased, but I don't know the number off the top of my head.
Got it. Got it. So you have access to all the licenses, so you can do the outreach and say, "Hey, have you thought about joining AZPPO?
Yes.
Here's some of the benefits." This is kind of an off the wall comment. What's their excuse for not joining an organization that's benefiting them?
I would say the number one thing is they don't feel like they're going to get the benefit out of the membership fee. And the membership fees are not as high as a lot of people realize.
They're not.
And yeah, so without them actually attending an event and seeing what we're all about, it's hard for them to see the value in it. So I market I send our events out to the entire industry. I don't just send it out to our membership database. I send it to every licensed company in Arizona, and that's every event we have because I feel like it's important for PCOs to send their technicians to an academy or send a team to a golf tournament or the clay shoot to incentivize them. So that way they get an idea of what we're all about, and our board of directors can, pull them aside and, have a conversation with them and try to gain their membership. So,
Yeah. So it's not like this hard sell approach. You're like, hey,
no.
why don't you come in, enjoy being a part of the family?
Yes.
Once you see the value,
Yeah.
then let's talk about membership. Let's
Right.
do that.
Yeah,
Good,
that's
good.
the best way to go about it, I think. That and I mean, sometimes they don't realize that we're a joint state with MPMA, so their membership also includes national benefits as well. So I just feel like getting the word out there and making people understand the importance behind it and the benefits, and that you don't only get our benefits, you get national benefits as well.
Yeah, you're part of a bigger organization that
Yes.
has a lot of power to impact your livelihood and what you're doing. Well,
Correct.
that's really a good thing to talk about. I know when I looked at, hey, how much was it cost to join and be this? It was not exuberant at all. I was like,
No.
hey, this makes sense for me as a pest control owner and a vendor in this space.
Yeah,
And like I said, just pulling together one or two peer associations in this group could be life changing for you.
absolutely.
I'll give you an example. One of the folks I met at AZPPO does fleet management.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I don't have 15 trucks or didn't have 15 trucks, but there are some people that have more than that. And I could clearly, after I interviewed him and did a podcast, I'm like, okay, there's some serious benefits
Hmm.
for ones that have fleets. That when do you buy your trucks? When do you sell your trucks? How do you do different things? What are the best trucks for this kind of terrain? Or how many miles are you driving? Like, you're not going to get that from the dealership.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. You've got people that you
that's
can ask. And I mean, people
yeah.
starting, new startups and people coming into the industry not really knowing or having anyone that they can reach out to ask those questions. That's another huge benefit.
Exactly. And there's a lot of business owners that I know that aren't in the pest control industry that have fleets. So it's even applicable to stuff, even other associations I've built up over the years where, okay, here's a vendor that can help you with that.
Yep.
Or here's somebody that can help you with your food pest control issues. Or,
Hmm.
I mean, it's just really nice to come across such a good group. Why you should get involved on a state level. You're
Hmm.
going to almost automatically have a national benefit as well, but that state level is going to be that much more for you from a peer
Hmm.
side. Now, what are some of the common objections? What is there like an objection you hear a lot as to why not getting involved with an association like this? Has that ever come up?
Um, The only thing that I can really think of in terms of a con why they would not want to join is the size of their company. They feel like they're not big enough to join, that they're not going to get the benefit from the CEU academies or the Great Western Conference because they don't necessarily have any technicians to send or they're a smaller company, so they don't need that big fleet discount or there's a number of reasons why they wouldn't necessarily think it would be a good idea. But that's where we have to change their mind.
Yeah, part of being in the marketing segment, which I am, is just
Hmm.
giving them some awareness of
Yeah.
what is the benefit, right? And kind of think about what are their pain points right now.
Hmm. Yeah.
Why is it they're not able to grow their pest control business, or why
Hmm.
is it they keep on getting churn, or why is it,
Yeah.
start how can we help them with those pieces that they just might be missing in the pest control industry?
Yeah. And I mean, a big
Um,
one, is going back to that advocacy. We recently we fought the neonic ban. That's huge. It could have impacted so many companies, and so we were able to swoop in and advocate for that on a state level as well as a national level. So I think driving home that advocacy and industry defense is another big one that we have to do.
yeah, that's going to always be happening too. I mean, it's not that's
Mhm.
an ongoing battle,
Yes,
and
exactly.
you need to have that
Hmm.
15% membership. I mean, that's a pretty huge jump every year. Is that something that that you set up, or is there like somebody like just come up with that number out of nowhere?
Well, when I started with Arizona in 2022, the goal was 10%. They said that their goal for me was to, drive membership and grow the membership database. So I came up with year after year, increasing it from 10 to 15, and it's kind of been at 15 the past couple years. I've happy to say I've met the goal. So um, that's kind of a personal goal because the more members we get, the better we are as an industry as a whole, as an
Yeah.
association.
That's
Yeah.
huge. I mean, that's results, right? I mean,
Oh,
anytime you can
definitely.
grow an organization, especially membership by 15%,
Hmm.
it might be easier in the beginning, but it gets harder as that thing grows, right? You got more people to try to sustain, right?
Yep.
And then that doesn't account for some people that churn out or they're gone. I'm not
Exactly.
sure what so it might be a lot more if you're doing
Retention is
15%.
also, yeah, retention is also a big one.
Yeah.
We lose, unfortunately, we do lose a couple, every year, and it's nothing that we're particularly doing or they didn't see the benefit. It's their company went under, or there's something or other along those lines, or they couldn't afford it anymore. They're not doing as good as they were doing before. So those things do happen. So retention is also a big one.
Yeah. Right on. Well, I think just spending a couple minutes talking to you about the different things you've been involved with. What does things look like you think in the next 2 years? I mean, for you, is it something that you're wanting to take on more, or are you wanting to just stay in these two states? I mean, what are you looking for long term?
I would say for the next year, I'm very comfortable where I'm at. I really want to focus on Colorado for the first year, make sure that they are sustained because they did just take that big jump from NPMA. So I want to make sure that all of their events are up and running. So after they're a good year in, I'd be ready to take on another state. And so I would say in the next 10 years, I'd like to have another three associations. That would be fantastic.
Wow,
Um,
that's a
yeah.
great goal. That's a great goal,
Mhm.
and good thing you're next to Sky Harbor Airport. You can just
Yep.
catch a flight anywhere you want to go, which is great.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, I think five
Well,
would be a good number for me.
that's awesome. Well, it's nice to know where you're going and just all
Yeah.
the wonderful things that you're doing for the industry
Thank you.
and how you're making a big impact. I know that I see a lot of your content out there, and it's just great to see somebody that just has that drive in the industry. Really cool stuff
Thank
that you're
you.
doing. And
Thank you.
just for the folks that are watching this that are, they may not be in Arizona or Colorado, that's okay. Well, the take home is what is the benefit of getting involved? There are some intangible marketing benefits that I'd like to mention is anytime you're associated with an association, that gives you an authority factor in your local area. A lot of these pest control businesses are just single city.
Yep.
Sometimes they have more than one area. That helps you to be an authority that's respected and trusted.
Yes.
That's very helpful now with what I call generative AI when it's pulling
Mhm.
results. It's going to look at, hey, are you a player in your community? Are you an authority in the community?
Mhm.
If somebody wants to do more in the local area, they don't have to be big. You
Right.
can talk to Chrissy about talking on a topic or being an authority on something
Uh-huh.
and get that opportunity to speak. You need that
Yes.
opportunity to speak, you
Absolutely.
know?
And I am
Yeah.
glad that you touched on that because I was going to bring that up. With Arizona, we give all of our members, new members, when they come on, a sticker, a decal for their truck, for their fleet. And so it says AZPPO, and they can use that to their benefit. They get a certificate on their wall saying that they're a member of AZPPO, and they can use that as a benefit to their customers. And if they need a reference, the customers can see that they're a member of us, so that does help drive their customers as well.
Yeah, it's just that power of association
Yeah.
and then giving them what I call topical authority and
Mhm.
their local geography. That's just going to help out a lot of things when they're trying to rank,
Yeah.
whether it's through generative AI or if they're trying to, there's just a lot of things that can go back and forth.
Mhm.
Do you do events at PCO's locations and do training? Do you do outbound kind of stuff like that too?
We don't do anything like that.
Okay.
We have our big academy in spring and then one in fall, and the same for Colorado as well. And we do them in different locations,
Okay.
centralized. We do cross CEUs, so people can come from New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, Colorado to Arizona and get their CEU hours. So. And if they're licensed in different states, they can get it all in one place. So I think that's fantastic as well.
That just makes it easy
It
for
does.
ones
It
that want to
does.
stay current and involved with different things.
Yeah.
Well, you've answered all my questions. I thought we were going to go on for an hour, but I think you've answered every single question that I had in front of me
Great.
and even gave me some things to think about. And I'm just thinking about future opportunities
Mhm.
with a couple different things. But I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing you. I would say in October at Pest
Yeah.
World is where I'm going to see you next.
We'll be there.
That will be awesome. And maybe I'll even score another Pest Daily hat and have to hook up
I'll
with those
talk to
guys while
David
I'm
about
down
that.
there.
I'll see if he
Yeah,
can
just
get you a hat.
yeah, tell me, influence me. I like the hats that
I
you guys
will.
got, and you had a really nice. They had a really nice crew. Tell them thank you for letting them let you use the studio as well.
I will.
And I'm looking forward to learning more and being more in this industry and around
Thank
folks
you.
like yourself, Chrissy. I
Thank you
really
so
appreciate
much.
it.
I really appreciate you having me on the podcast. Thank you.
That's a wrap
Absolutely.
on this episode of SwarmCast. Thanks for tuning in and arming yourself with the marketing firepower to keep your pest control business thriving. Before you scurry off, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and leave us a review. It helps us spread like a well-placed bait station. Got a topic you want us to tackle? Drop us a line and let's keep the conversation buzzing. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strategic, and keep swarming the market.